Are you working on developing an online marketing strategy for your small business and you're not sure where to start? Here's why it's the most important thing to do as your step one. You need to decide what type of content you commit to creating. I know that probably seems a little bit opposite because usually people say that the most important thing you need to do when you start creating your strategy is to decide which online marketing tools you are going to use. And when we talk about online marketing, it's more than just social media. I know a lot of times people try to interchange those two words, but really social media is just one of your options as far as online marketing goes. Online marketing will also include your website, if you blog, if you have an online store, any sort of paid online ads you're doing, whether they're social media ads or something like Google AdWords, if you're using an email newsletter, if you're a podcaster, if you're making videos that then you host on, say, Facebook or YouTube, all of those things fall within that online marketing umbrella. So a lot of times when people sit down and they want to start developing an online marketing strategy, or for those of you who have offline businesses too, it's just going to be your overall marketing strategy because you do want to make sure that all your online work coordinates with all of your offline marketing as well. A lot of times they think like, well, hey, let's just lay out, make a plan with all the different tools and accounts and that we already have established. However, there's two things to consider when it comes to this. First of all, you can't build a successful presence, regardless of what online tools you're using, if it's all borrowed content. You need to have some kind of original content that's being produced by you, whether it's photos, videos, written content, your podcasts, what have you. Yes, your curated content should be part of your content mix because you don't want to be all promotional all the time, but you aren't going to be successful online if all you do is just share curated content from other sources. The other thing is, and what I see is probably one of the biggest obstacles that I run into when I'm working with small business owners, is they will have gone and started a bunch of different social media platforms, or maybe they were all energized to write a blog and they set up a MailChimp account or a Constant Contact account, and they aren't committed to doing what's essential to make those accounts work. So for social media, it could be because the nature of that platform requires a certain type of content that you just don't have and you haven't committed to creating. And usually this happens because a small business owner will hear, oh, hey, this is the latest and greatest thing. You have to do it. This is the sweetheart of social media. This is the hot platform. And so that's why they go ahead and they create an account. But you need to assess for those accounts, and it doesn't even matter if those platforms that you want to create an account on are very popular for your customer base or your competitors are there. If you can't, if you don't have what it takes and you can't produce what it takes to be successful on that platform, it's just going to be wasted time and energy. So it's better off to choose your online marketing tools that you can make work for you. So for example, Instagram requires photos or videos. So now if you have something like an online store and you have just tons and tons of products, at least you can screenshot some of those images or download those product images and use those for Instagram. Even if you aren't going to commit to taking pictures of you and your coworkers at work or performing the services that you provide or behind the scenes stuff or lifestyle photos, and you're not going to record, videos, at least you can have something to work with. But ideally, a photo and video sharing platform is going to have photos and videos that are coming from you. That's going to be far more effective. Pinterest is another great example. If you have a basic 5-page website and you don't have images or photos or anything else to go ahead and add fresh pins to those few links that you have, you're not going to be successful on Pinterest because you're going to pin the 5 pages of your website and there's no new content that you're going to put out there. If you aren't committed to writing, you're going to start a blog, maybe get up in a few blog posts, but then that blog's going to sit dormant for a while. So this is why, I really feel like it's a close second when it comes to deciding what online marketing tools you're going to use. So maybe deciding the content you're going to create is like a 1A and the tools you're going to use is a 1B. But it really is essential that you just figure out and decide what kind of content you will commit to making as your step 1. Because if you go ahead and develop an entire online marketing plan that's based on, like, say, 3 or 4 social platforms, your website, your blog, your email list, but then you don't have what it takes to actually make 2 of those platforms work and you're not going to blog, you have just spent all that time trying to develop a strategy that's never going to actually be executable or effective for you because you don't have the content that you need in order to make those chosen online marketing tools work for you. So with all that being said, that's why it's really important to figure out what's going to work for you first, whether it's you producing that content, you have an employee who produces that content, or you hire out that content. So once you figure out what content you have to work with, those are really your first assets. Then your next step would be to then decide what tools you're going to use as part of that online marketing mix now that you know what content you have to work with. So if you have any questions, please leave those in the comments below. If not, you all have a good rest of your day. Thank you.